Hi everyone, I'm here with a full moon lunar eclipse reading for you. Full moon will be June 3rd. The eclipse I think is going from the 5th to the 6th. So this will be from June 3rd through the 6th. We have a full moon in Sagittarius. Okay, where should I start? The full moon, or the moon itself, symbolizes the feminine, the darkness, our intuition, our subconscious, our emotions, the ebb and flow. So with it being a full moon, usually it's these times that some of our darkness and our subconscious becomes illuminated. With it being in Sagittarius, Sagittarius is the wanderer, the adventurer, the warrior. But with the eclipse, all of those shadow aspects of Sagittarius are going to become illuminated during this time. So I've already been feeling the effects of the energy. Plus all the energy that's going on in the world is just insane right now anyway. But while I was meditating, also with the eclipse, there's going to be a great transformation, a great shift, a great reflection into who we are. And I understand that some people are not going to agree with this, and that's fine. This is just what my guides have shown me. And I heard somebody say today, right now is the time for us to change, and that's true. But they also said that love and light stuff is not going to work any longer. And maybe so, maybe in the ways that we've done it in previous times, it's not going to work anymore. But the answer isn't meeting the opposition with the same energy. I don't feel the energy. They're showing me the energy is not the way is not to meet the opposition with the same energy. And so that reminded me of a quote that I heard. And it was Martin Luther King Jr., the great Martin Luther King Jr., who said, "Hate begets hate, violence begets violence, toughness begets greater toughness. We must meet those forces of hate with the power of love." And so, what does it mean to love? It means to take in that person, the other person, or being, or whatever, as a part of yourself. Because, and the reason I say maybe it hasn't worked in the past is because love and light and unconditional love has sort of become a fad, a term that's lost its meaning, or terms that's lost their meaning, but unconditional love mostly. So to be unconditionally loving, it doesn't mean that you need to roll over belly up and allow people to hurt you. It means that you unconditionally love yourself enough to have boundaries, but also it means still showing love and being loving towards every individual, regardless of who they are or what they have or what they've done in the past. In our past, I feel like the energy that we've given off is, I unconditionally love people as long as they're good. But that's not unconditionally loving. That's loving with a condition. That's being unconditionally loving on the conditions that people are good. So I've seen firsthand what love can do. I've seen firsthand love shift and transform a person into a much greater version of themselves without holding their past against them or judging them for their past. The shift it's amazing and it's intense and it's expansive, and it helped me grow a lot to see how much love can actually shift a person. So the goal is not to show love and light to the people that are good. It's to spread love and light among people who we deem not good, who have been lost in the darkness, who have given up and not seen any ray of hope, and feel that their only way of finding relief from the pressure is to be in the darkness. They don't need more judgment. They don't need more anger towards them or pity. I don't know. So I just wanted to put that out there. Plant the seed, you know? Yes, fighting the darkness with love and light is not going to work. But inviting in that feminine energy and expanding our love and light, not to fight or oppose, but to embrace and integrate with the darkness. It's the only way that we'll break through the cycle. Okay, so I thought there was a different card under there. Let's see what the energy is going to be. So for me, when I said I'd been feeling the energy already, like for the past few days, so I took the last 5 days off from work. I haven't done anything. I like barely even meditated because it was just too much. I went out to my boyfriend's house, and he lives on a property where there's no neighbors for very close by, and it felt wonderful. But what I've been noticing is the war raging on within myself. Like there's been a war between my ego and myself versus the empowered part of me versus the disempowered part of me. The part of me that wants to be good and liked, and the part of me that wants to share all my truth. That's wound. These are all wounds. But so I can understand why, like I can see how the world has gotten into the state that it's gotten into. And I don't want to discount the events that are happening. Like, everything that's happening in the world is awful. No one should ever have to experience any kind of violence. We just shouldn't have to. But we did, and it exists, and it's very real, and it's unfair, and it's not good. Also, at one point, though, we need to start accepting our responsibility and not turning towards our wounds and our own darkness. And how collectively, like everybody collectively, starts to manifest these wars that go on within them externally. It's a tough thing to say, and it's a tough thing to hear, and I completely understand. But now, with this full moon and the eclipse, we're not going to be able to hide from our shadows and our wounds for very much longer. They're going to start coming out, and we're going to start becoming aware of them, and it's either going to elevate us or it's going to drown us. Another thing I wanted to say is also, I understand how we can get caught up. I don't want to like make it sound like I'm judging somebody for saying the old way isn't going to work, but because I can understand how it might feel like that. But the old way is not fully meeting the opposition with love. It's always been meeting the opposition with more anger or hate or fear. I don't think I ever said my point, but so when I said I experienced how love can shift a person, I witnessed it firsthand. It was a relationship that I was in, and my family didn't like him, and so I fought back as hard as I could for the time that we were together. But eventually it was like, I mean, part of me could have been like, it's time to move forward, and I get that, but also I can understand how easily it would be, or how easy it would be to give in to the pressure of the people who love you, the pressure that people put on you. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so first off, we have discontent and boredom. And I feel like this is the energy that people are in currently. And with everything happening around the world, it just aggravated that energy and completely shifted it into anger and rebellion, which is understandable. Then we have the Fool card. It says new beginnings. This is a time of great change. This is a time of something shifting incredibly in the world. Then we have the Destiny card, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and it's beginning and endings. We're going to see something come to an end in order for something new to begin. Then we have Hope, which is the Star card. Be careful. It's really important to be mindful of the energy you put out and the words that you use. It's like what comes to mind is you get what you wish for. So be really mindful of the things that you wish for or that you speak or even think, because that's manifesting into reality. And so if we're going to be in the energy of hate and anger, disgust, we have to be mindful not to manifest more of that into reality. All right, and then we have solar plexus, and this is our power. And like I said before, the word that's most present to me, because everything is so complex and multi-layered. If I go down into the layers, into the root of everything, it's empowerment versus empowerment within oneself. That's all. That's not all, but that's where it's coming from. And it's because we've been so emotionally withdrawn from ourselves that we don't even realize that this is happening within us. We find ways to escape. We find ways to make ourselves feel good, and we find excuses not to look at it and be present with it. Finding ways to escape it. This is rejoice and celebration. And I'm getting like doing things that make you feel numb, or that just make you feel good, but numb to the pain. I have stand your ground. It's time we stand our ground. But it's also time that we expand the love and light to everyone, not just the people who are good. The only way to change the darkness is to illuminate it. Turn on the light. Let's turn on the lights. It's like that commercial. We'll leave the light on for you. And then we have transformation, which is the Tower. Or no, sorry, the Death card. We literally have to go through a death process, which is happening right now, in order to be rebirthed. And when we become rebirthed, we'll have new and profound wisdom. It's not even like knowledge or being educated. It's just the wisdom of everything that we've known that is programmed within us that we've forgotten, that's stored in our subconscious. What I just saw was in the past, or the way that it's happened with the love and light thing, is that we've gone at it with the force of trying to meet the opposition with the force or the same energetic signature as they're coming at us with. And what I see is the darkness casting a shadow over the light. And it's in that shadow where we allow ourselves to dim and get dusty. So we do need change, and we do need to come at this in a new and different way. But in the new and different way, meaning with pure unconditional love. This wisdom is within us. We hold the book. It's in our minds. It's in our subconscious awareness. And that's what needs to be awakened. And this is why subconscious work is so important, is because you get to unlock these things that are stored in there. And you get to know the parts of yourself that hold you back from these things, that make you feel like you're not safe if you tap into it, that make you feel like you're not going to be a good person if you tap into it. All of these parts of you are stored in your subconscious as well. Sort of like the guardians. But it doesn't help you right now. There's a force in the world that's very powerful as well, that understands that fear and separation makes people easier to control, makes a mass easier to control. It also understands that humans don't wish to be alone. So if they can get on board, if they can get majority of the people on board, then more than likely people will follow, because They don't want to be left alone. I have a feeling this reading is not going to resonate with too many people in the current moment. That's okay. Just going with the flow, allowing my guides to tell me what is needed at this time. So right now, completion. There's part of us that feel alone, and we feel like we are stuck in the dark with a view of the light, never knowing how to get there, never knowing how to reach it, never being able to obtain the light. I think that's the right word. We need completion. Putting back the pieces that got lost in the dark. Bringing them into the light so that we can heal as a whole. We have the miser, and we don't want to get stuck in this. We don't want to get stuck in this I'm out for myself and no one else mentality. I know that a lot of people are not. And I know that it's easier said than done. If we look at these people and embrace them as part of ourselves, meet them with love, understanding, and compassion. Be curious to see what happens and how their energy shifts. All right. So I have the Sacred Rebels Guide, or Tarot deck, by Elena Fairchild. So we're going to pull a card and read from the book. right, so we've got number 23. Defend to the end the worthwhile. And it says, turn right to it. All right, it says, beneath the illusions, pretty as they may seem, you know what is real. Beneath the lies, sweet though they may sound, you know what is worthwhile. All that is genuinely and truly essential for the heart to throb with life is worthwhile. Anything that dulls it or suffocates its vibrant aliveness must be questioned, challenged, and more than likely cast aside, for the heart is our key to living an authentic life. What is there once that is compromised? What is there once that is compromised? Without its foundation of truth, we are to be lost forever in confusion, doubt, and despair. You are a sacred warrior, a defender of the heart. You have cried genuine tears of your own grief, and also the grief of the world. You have raged at injustice and oppression in your own life and in the world. You have felt the need to protect the presence of love, for whilst it's exceptionally powerful, it can too easily be smothered under lies and fear. The sacred warrior must not heed the dangerous voices that say, oh, stop being so sensitive. Stop making such a big deal out of things. Love is the biggest deal there is. What else is worth being so sensitive about? The sacred warrior is a vigilant, that the presence of love is not chipped away by fear, is vigilant. I don't feel like that's right either. Sorry, I'm having issues with reading today. The sacred warrior is vigilant that the presence of love is not chipped away by fear, criticism, doubt, or untruth. Even if others find the unflinching honesty about your feelings difficult to handle, even those feelings are expressed with the gentleness and compassion. The sacred warrior honors the task of being more faithful to love than anything else. This includes the fear of loss. Actually, it includes the fear of anything at all. This oracle brings guidance to honor even the smallest steps in your path of the sacred warrior. They are no less important than the ones, I can't read today. They are no less important than the more noticeable or dramatic actions on the path. One single misstep can begin a landslide of great devastation. Being vigilant with what is meaningful and what is truthful, even in the smallest and seemingly most insignificant ways, strengthens the sacred warrior and prevents darkness from gaining a stronghold from the inside. That darkness will be intelligent and sneaky. It will tell you that it doesn't matter, that this one time you can forget what you promised, that you are just one person and that you can't make a difference anyway. That darkness will lure you into sleepy ambivalence and dull your light if you allow it to. The sacred warrior within will fight with love and honor to be true to what it has meaning and never ever allow it to be cast aside, even if it seems easier in the moment. The sacred warrior finds joy and humor in life to prevent the seriousness of the task from stifling the heart that just wants to live and be free. That joy brings strength to the warrior and an expanded, relaxed awareness that can sense the presence of fear, whether it is masked by anger, hate, or doubt, and immediately respond to it with fierce compassion. The sacred warrior will not allow fear to gain a stronghold within the heart. Gosh, I'm sorry, I read that awful, but this oracle has a special guidance for you. You're being asked to stay strong and stand your ground. This might be in a big emotional journey that feels like the fight of your life. It may be in a matter that does not seem to hold much importance, but perhaps, for example, Perhaps, for example, you are contemplating an idea that you feel could be something, but those around you declare it is nothing much, too impractical, too little, or too much. However, what is happening or soon will be happening is worthwhile. So hold tight. Ask for help through the healing process. Stay true to the sacred warrior of love that you are and defend to the end all that is worthwhile. This oracle card gains even more significance if you draw blah, blah, blah. Okay. Well, so I feel like we just need to change our perspective, you know, on what things look like. Yeah. I guess the question is, can you truly say that you unconditionally love all humans? Or this is something that I've had to sit with for a long time as well. Still continue to sit with it. Or are there conditions on who you will unconditionally love? And like I said, unconditional love doesn't mean belly up and allow people to take advantage of you or allow people to hurt you. But it does mean sending them love and light and not fear, anger, or judgment. So that's all for today. I hope you have a great day. I'm available for personal readings. Like and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. All my information is below. Yeah, that's it. Have a good day. Love you guys. Bye.